Marathon, yeah, say that to me, yeah, say that. Yeah, say that to me, oh marathon. You can say that to me, yeah, say that. You can say that to me, marathon. Yeah, say that.
Do Americans have a genuine obsession with vacationing? I think it's pretty much a useless question, to be honest, right? But what led me to wanting to make the video was not necessarily about the vacation culture. It actually was because I was studying Instagram and I was looking at the new algorithm and the new organization that they have. And it really looks like Instagram is on its way out. It looks like Instagram is dying. It looks like Instagram has turned completely into a pay-to-play type of culture, and it's not really for the everyman. It's for celebrities to just keep staying in your face. And as a normal individual, as you probably are a normal individual as well, that's not exciting. That's not fun. I don't want to feel manipulated into seeing something over and over again that I don't want to see, right? If I want to look at a celebrity, I will go search for the celebrity. Or if it legitimately organically comes into my view, then I'm more than happy to go look at that, right? But in terms of what Instagram has turned into, I think for the everyman, it's kind of dying, right? So as I was looking at what Instagram is used for, I kept thinking about, okay, so looking at my friends' Instagram feeds that I don't typically see all the time, what do the everyman use it for? And it turns out that it seems like 9 out of 10 posts is someone going on a vacation. And then I was like, okay, so do Americans just have an obsession with vacationing? Like, do we feel like we work so hard that we deserve the trip, or what is really behind it? And I think the main point, which you might have come to on your own thought process, is that we don't have an obsession with vacationing. We have an obsession with ourselves. We have an obsession with being seen. We have an obsession with wanting attention and feeling like we're not getting enough of it. On the other hand, the positive side of it is attention genuinely is a positive force in our 2025 society. It is genuinely positive because it creates a lot of work, a lot of jobs, a lot of commerce. Without attention, you can't really sell products. So as a business, attention has to be amongst, if not your number one priority. As you know, and then our culture, we're always selling something online. Like, we are the generation of entrepreneurs in a lot of different sense. So we also have to monetize attention. So attention itself is not bad. I think the problem with it is that it turned into a situation where I feel like there was a period of time where boomers and older people were not getting it correct. They were like, oh, they're at a concert and they're videoing the concert. They're not sitting in the moment. And I think it was probably around the 2010s, maybe a little bit before that, where we were like, you guys just don't understand. Like, this is how we experience music. This is how we experience shows. Like, this is how we find more joy in the experience of videotaping it and knowing we can go back and look at it. And I know my personal critique was that a lot of older generations, they watch the Mets, win the series in 1960, but all they have is their memory. But now we have an actual video where we can go back, watch it in 4K and relive it and re-become, put ourselves in the spot. But I think that officially they're right? I think that we have lost a little bit of what it means to be present. And this is not like one of those like old people speeches, like we need to go backwards, because I don't believe in backwards. I think forward is the only way to go. But as we're looking for forward, we have to look at what is the negatives of what we're currently already doing. And it turns out that a lot of people don't vacation for the sake of vacation, or to experience and view the world, or to take a load off, or, whatever else the typical reason would be for vacationing. The studies show that people are vacationing at locations where they feel like they look best in. For video, for pictures, for all sorts of situations like that. Like Bali, I know is number one. Where's another one? What is it? Bali, Tulum, Iceland are all the heaviest tourist destinations, because if you look at the visuals, it's very pretty backgrounds that would make for a good photo, right? That would make for a good Instagram post. And I think that is something that I'm not sure if it's like a quite whole on negative, but it is kind of disappointing when there's so many other beautiful places out there to vacation. And if you're working hard and you're busting your ass during the week, and then all you do is go on vacation just to do more work, which essentially picking a place to film videos and photography is essentially working, right? So you're working on vacation, which leads me to the next thing I was researching is there's a lot of like weird ideas about the 40-hour work week. And I'm on TikTok and Twitter and all that, and they're always saying like, whenever we get to heaven, we're gonna bully the guy who started the 40-hour work week with that, which I feel like people have been attributing to Henry Ford as the person who started the 40-hour work week. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but in my research, it actually was Franklin Eleanor Roosevelt who instituted the 40-hour work week, which was to alleviate the work, right? Because people were working 10 and 16-hour days and they were not having a good time doing it. So the 40-hour work week was to reduce work. So we are actually working a lot less than we used to work, but we're vacationing a lot more. So I think it really boils down to, is attention worth all that time? Are we really trying to monetize attention to a degree where every waking moment, everything that we do needs to have attention on it, because if you don't have attention, you've fallen off, right? And I'm sure this could turn into 5 or 6 different offset videos for what it really means to vacation, take the picture, post it, not be able to vacation if you can't post it. I don't know anybody who goes on vacation outside of older individuals who don't take pictures and post and tell. So is it about flexing on your fellow man? Is it about you feeling more than what you are? Is it about the psychology of attention and you just trying to monetize your brand to stay relevant so you can sell more and have the lifestyle that you want? Or is it more of like a darker, deeper situation where you just don't feel enough? So every time you're able to get a leg up on your feelings, you will take that initiative. Like gym culture is a perfect example, right? So if you weren't super fit, super buff, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, so now I can start attracting the opposite sex, or I can start getting and commanding more attention. And every time I take a picture now, they're going to see like the gains. They're going to see me looking better and this. I think that would be gymming for the wrong reason, right? Like that's not a sustainable reason to get up and go. I believe in all reasons, though, to go to the gym. It's just not the healthiest reason, right? Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Nutrishop Parker. It is your one-stop shop for high-quality supplements, protein powders, and wellness products that actually deliver. Whether you're building muscle, burning fat, or just trying to feel better every day, Nutrishop's expert team can help you find what works best for you. If you're local to Colorado, stop by their Parker location for a personalized experience. And if you are tuning in anywhere in the USA, use code Brandon at checkout for free shipping on your order. Fuel your goals the right way, the Nutrishop way. All right, let's go. But anything that gets you up moving, I'm in full support of. But if you're looking at something sustainable, long-term, healthy mentally, because I know a lot of people who get into the gym to attract the opposite sex or get into the gym to flex on people or to whatever, like they end up developing body dysmorphia very quickly before they really even got the kind of gains that they were after. And they also develop more of like a depressive state, like that they have to be in the gym 7 days a week because they look at the mirror on Tuesday. If they take off Wednesday, they look like they just dropped 10 pounds by Thursday, right? And I'm very qualified to talk about this because that's something I experience all the time, right? So I did start gymming for the wrong reason. Of course, that was like 5 years ago. And now we're in a more healthy, consistent, like loving myself reason why I gym. My body's my temples type situation. And it's not to attract the opposite sex. It's not to flex on anybody. Like I genuinely just love the art of working out and body sculpting, things like that. But I definitely went through a huge period of like being depressed while working out and being unhappy with what I'm looking in the mirror when everybody around me is like, oh my gosh, you look like a tank. Tell me your secrets. Oh my gosh, you're shredded. Like, what are you doing? And I was really just like, yeah, I'm a skinny bitch. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. Like, well, my lats are a little small and my biceps aren't growing. Like it just turned into such a negative situation where I heard someone, what fixed it for me is I heard someone else who was very in shape say basically the same thing I said. Because I complimented them and I was like, oh, like, man, like your delts are really blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, no, it's kind of small like this. And I like had like a weird feeling where I was taken aback and I was like, oh, is that how I sound? Because not only did it sort of offend me that like this person didn't want to hear the compliment to the degree, it also pained me to hear them not want to take a compliment. And then it made me feel like I shouldn't have complimented them because all I did was point out something that they were insecure about. So it made me not want to do that to someone else. So I found myself not wanting to, because I'm one of the dudes, like, I'll come up and be like, oh my God, bro, like you just benched 315, like, good work, you're in the milestone. Like, I love that stuff. Like, I love the gym culture. But that kind of made me take a pause when I realized that they weren't necessarily having a great time with the compliments. So it all ties back into the series of American obsession with vacation, because it is a validating thing. So in the same way people will leave the country, the same way people will do all this other stuff with the country, like they seriously are struggling. Some people seems like it's struggling with self-worth, struggling with a lot of different views of themselves, to the degree where I'm like, well, maybe I'm not I don't even know the answer, to be honest. Like, this is a thought-provoking video as always. Like, what do you guys think is going to be the cure in the future? Because nothing really lasts forever in terms of these trends. Like, fitness is a culture, vacationing is a culture, and maybe the thing that's going to kill vacationing is the economy continuously getting worse and worse and worse. So maybe it's just going to cure itself that way when people can't flex, because people can't, right? They don't have the money. But yeah, I do think it's a very deep conversation, and a very psychological conversation at that. Are vacations cool? Are they necessary? I do think both. I do think getting out of your hometown, getting out of your bubble and seeing something new is wonderful. I think that we are here to explore and conquer and create and, do all those things that human beings have always done. But that being said, Americans' obsession with vacationing, I think, is really a deeper issue. It's, to sum it up, a lack of self-worth, a lack of, or a super enhanced need for validation, for attention, but of course not always bad. So if you got anything from this video, it is that any activity that you're engaging in isn't necessarily bad outside of just like straight up sinful relationships. But if you find yourself doing things that other people are doing, you're following the wave, you're following the culture, I think if you can take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to really think about, okay, so why is this catching on? Why is everybody going left? Why is everybody going to the gym all of a sudden? Not that it's negative, but I like to use that philosophy in everything that I do, especially when I see people doing other things. Like, I think it was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm counting a bunch. Like 5 to 7 years ago, where people all were moving to Texas. Everybody. And I was like, I know there's a lot of opportunities, especially for Black people in Texas and Atlanta, but why are they all going at the same time? Like, is what they want to do in this world not accomplishable where they're at? And if it's not accomplishable where they're at, what makes them so confident that it'll be available where they're going? And that's not saying it's not better. I'm just saying, like, that type of stop and pause is going to keep you from doing a lot of backpedaling. It's going to keep you from having to renege on some things and have to start over after making a bad decision. Like, the thought up front is really what stops everybody from having to redo the same things over and over and over again. So to sum it up, there's a lot of activities that people are engaging in, and they're not bad, but I would challenge you to analyze and research why you do it yourself. And if you have a good enough reason, no one can tell you nothing.
Marathon.
Until next time.
Yeah, say that to me. Yeah, say that. Yeah, say that to me. Oh, marathon. You can say that to me. Yeah, say that. You can say that to me.